The breakfast table is quiet. The following morning, shafts of sunlight divide the table in two. More on one side, Sally on the other. Oh me, sorry. I suppose I am bigger than Sally. Melly isn't here. She hardly ever is. I know that, but I still ask. Hey, why isn't our daughter here for breakfast? You know why? Sally sighs, setting her newspaper to one side. It crumples, and the face of the UKIP politician splashed across the front cover distorts, his head collapsing in on itself. My God. It's because she doesn't want to talk to you. I nod, taking another sip of my coffee. Try to play it cool. Like cold coffee. Ice cold coffee. We're just discussing the fact that my only daughter probably doesn't love me anymore. Wow. Did she already go to school, or did she skip school? A nod. To me, so she's already... how mature, right? Melly didn't need to do that. I'll give her a lift if she wants. I do have a car. Melly's school, St. Catherine's, is only a short walk away from Wheatfield Juniors, but that's probably why Melly refuses to let me drive her there in the first place. I'm sure it has nothing to do with my daughter hating me. Having a primary school teacher as a father, and not just any primary school teacher, but a music teacher, must be embarrassing, especially when I had the pleasure of teaching most of her school friends only a few years ago. Not that Melly has any friends. If she does, I've certainly never met them. My child is an introvert. My God. Melly doesn't like asking for favors. She keeps herself to herself. Especially when I'm around. I can't really blame her for that. You're not really being a very good supportive mother here. Oh, that stings. Isn't it a little too early in the morning for, caustic comments? I apologize. I'll try to rein my acid tongue in until at least half 5 in the afternoon when I've been drinking. Yeah, thank you. It would be appreciated. I laugh dryly and set my mug of coffee down on its coaster. Sally always gets mad when I forget to use one, or, a condom. Depressing, though, it may seem. Today is a normal day. Sally and I are at the table, embalmed in our own respective silence. It's been like this for a good year or so. There's no reason why it shouldn't be like this now. Even though the events of last night were so fantastical, they may as well have been a dream. Perhaps they were a dream. Nothing seems to have changed, except my wife being a bitch. I get to my feet, depositing the cup by the sink. My car keys jingle in my pocket. Alright, bye, Sally. I'm going now. Bye. Have a good day. Fucking idiot. Sally, looking at the newspaper again, holding it in both hands as the broadsheet threatens to swallow her whole. Like a dolphin. A really big dolphin. She doesn't look back at me. How cruel. If I got into an accident on the way to work, what if I died? About 5 people die on the road every day in Britain. Oh, apparently we're in Britain. That's weird. Those are indisputable facts. I could be one of those statistics someday, Sally. But Sally doesn't seem to care. Maybe she'd be happier that way. I'm sure Melly would. Just drive my fucking car into a light post, why don't I? As I walk out the front door, shielding my eyes from the intrusive sunshine, I think about Sally. I think about Melly. I think about myself and sigh, a deep, self-pitying sigh. Meeting Belle last night must have been a dream. Some form of escapism. Maybe she's my sleep paralysis demon. I bet most rapidly approaching middle-aged men have fantasies about young girls finding them attractive. What other purpose do those raunchy calendars with half-naked women have, if not to stroke egos and cocks? Well, probably to tell you the date, I imagine. Sally always says men are disgusting. I must be too. Having a dream like that? Man, that's a pretty fucking tame dream to consider that disgusting. It could have been way more tentacles. Haven't you ever been to Japan? At least I don't like Marmite, unlike Sally. Now, Marmite really is disgusting. Yeah, Marmite's kind of gross. Isn't Marmite like a chocolatey sort of toast spread or something? Kind of like Nutella? Exposed to the light of day, my hazy recollections of some 10 hours past are distorted. I can hardly remember what the girl looked like. Other than those eyes, those bright, burning, halogen, floating planet, demon eyes. I shake my head, trying to forget those eyes. It never happened. It was just a delusion, a dream of better things, beyond my humdrum job and arguments with my fucking wife. I should be old enough now to know better, but somehow I still don't. It's crazy. The more things change, the more they stay the same. I should be. But that doesn't mean I am. Fuck yeah, time to play some rock and roll in the car and smoke a doob. Like the morning, the day passes without event. My year 4 group after lunch were particularly obnoxious, and Heather Chambers ended up in tears after Cody Bamber made a disparaging comment about her mother. Something along the lines of her being a prazi. Something about tu madre dame cabeza. I'm not quite sure what that means, but I think it's French. But that was fairly standard. You get used to stuff like that when you've been a teacher long enough. It desensitizes you, much like the internet desensitizes you. Have you ever seen a beheading video? It's pretty fucked up. I did feel a bit sorry for Heather, though. She's a sweet kid, and she doesn't deserve it. I think it must be her red hair. It makes her an easy, because she's a fucking ginger. Where do kids even pick up such vulgar language? They're only not, that's the worst they could come up with, was that her mom is a prazi, and she's a ginger? Wow, okay. Yeah, mother's prazis. When I was a kid, I was outside playing with my model aeroplanes. I blame the internet. Of course. I'm such a boomer. I blame the internet. Of course I do. I'm getting old, and that's what old people do. They blame the internet. The evening passes in a similar fashion. Dull, monotonous, and completely predictable. My life is monotony. I see Melly for all of 10 minutes. When we sit at the dinner table for an awkward meal, Sally tries her best to instigate conversation, but Melly keeps her head bowed, half submerged in the oversized folds of her hoodie, and replies with vague mms and uhs. I think she's been listening to too much Billie Eilish lately. She looks tired and keeps rubbing her eyes. I worry she'll pitch forwards and end up face first in her mashed potatoes, suffocating in their mashed potato-y goodness. I hope she's getting old enough to sleep at night. Wait, I hope she's getting enough sleep at night. That's what she has the melatonin for. John Fowler said it would help. Who the fuck is John Fowler, and why is he giving our daughter melatonin? Not that I trust John... Exactly, who the fuck is John Fowler? I'm gonna find out that John Fowler's Melly's real father, isn't she? Or isn't he? Is he a she? Oh my god, this story gets more convoluted as it goes. John Fowler has transitioned, hasn't he? She. They. It starts to get dark. I find myself sitting in the living room with Sally, staring at some insipid show on TV without really watching it, wondering how I will tell my daughter that her real biological father is now her second mother with a penis. Sally and I sit together, but we don't talk. We hardly ever talk. Not unless we have something to complain about. How did this happen? How did we let this happen? Or maybe it's not a case of letting. Maybe this is what awaits all marriages. Somewhere along the line, the halcyon honeymoon period followed by disappointment, defiance, and gradual decay. The thought is so depressing, it's enough to rouse me from my sleepy stupor. My subconscious shifts guiltily. I know I shouldn't, but I keep thinking about her. Demon eyes! Good old demon eyes, there she is. In my waking nightmares, was I so desperate for something, anything, to save me from this rut, that I started hallucinating cat girls? There's just no way Great Aunt Clarice's cat could really be a cat girl. No way. Am I going crazy? Is this what having a midlife crisis feels like? Oh, trust me, it kind of is. Hey, Sal. She makes a small noise, registering my words, but she doesn't reply. Not properly. Am I that undeserving of her attention? That stings a little, Sal. You don't have to fucking ignore me. I'm gonna make a coffee. You want one? Oh, sure. Milk and sugar, right? She nods. I've been married to her long enough that I don't need to double check, but I do it all the same. I feel like I have to. It's part of being pussy whipped. Suddenly, terrifyingly, she feels like a complete stranger. Stranger danger. Sally's gonna murder me in the alleyway. Sally might be my wife, but Sally Pally. But how well do I really know her? How well do I know about the shed in the backyard or the weird garden plots? I know that she giggles like a kid on helium when you prod her belly button, and I know that she has a mole on her underside of her right foot. I know spicy food makes her nose run, and I know she saw Grease 6 times when it came out in cinema when she was a girl, and I know how she makes her white sauce for our Christmas pudding. A secret recipe. Oh my god. She guards jealously from the rest of our family. I know she takes her coffee with milk and sugar. But at the same time, I feel like I don't know anything about her at all. Right, I'll get it for you in a second. Thanks. No prob. Our interaction sounds casual, completely natural, but it still makes me feel intense. You know, we were having an argument this time, yesterday evening, about Arabella Waite, of all people. Arabella Siding Waite. Are we going to pretend that never happened? Maybe that's why Sally's ignoring me. Maybe she's mad at me. Or maybe she isn't ignoring me. Maybe she has nothing to say. Isn't that even worse? Is that how little I mean to her? God damn it, Sally. Don't you ever think of me, Sally? You bitch. I rise to my feet and pad into the kitchen. I take out 2 mugs from the cupboard. Sally's has a picture of Snork Maiden on it. It's one of her favorites. Set them on the counter and start to rifle through the fridge. Houston, we might have a fucking problem. No milk. She doesn't respond. Maybe she can't hear me, though it seems unlikely. I'm a quiet person, by nature, but I developed a rather loud shouting voice after working at wheat fields for so long. It was inevitable, really. Kids do that to you. You have to But Sally doesn't say a word. I don't want a cup of coffee that much, but I guess this small errand will give me something to do. That was the only reason why I went to the kitchen to begin with, to get the coffee, and to escape into the kitchen. I'm going to go to the store and pick some up. Is that okay? Is this me going to pick up a carton of smokes? Am I coming back? Still no response. I take the silence as confirmation. I close the door to the fridge with a dull thud. Right, I'll be back in like 10 minutes or something. Silence, nothing more, nothing less. I can't say that I'm surprised. Well, time to just drive off into the... Oh, it's nighttime. I was going to say into the sunrise or sunset. I thought it was morning. Didn't we just have breakfast? Oh, I guess that was earlier in the day. I walk along the riverside, my hands jammed into my pockets. My fingers brush against the cold metal of my keys, strangely reassuring in their clunkiness. At least that's one thing that will never change. The chill of the house keys against the palm of my hand, and the clunkiness of my keys. You know, the clunkier your keys, the more responsibility you have, the more of a man you are. The weather's been particularly temperamental lately. It's hot during the days, but cold at night. It just can't make up its mind. Trapped somewhere between spring and summer like a bipolar woman. That's May for you. Her name is May. I shiver into my jacket, expelling my breath into the chilly air. I could have taken the car, but I fancy to walk. The sound of my footsteps against the pavement is comforting. A little physical exercise never hurt. Oh no. Oh no, what's happening? Never hurt anybody. Even if the cold isn't particularly pleasant, I need to work out more. That's what I tell myself, but I know I have ulterior motives. I want to see her again, that girl, that demon girl, the devil, or would it be El Diablo? Is that a word? But she isn't here. The bridge over the river is emptied, devoid even of late-night joggers and dog walkers. Come to start my mini odyssey. Are there no other men out there trying to avoid their wives? The thought makes me feel a bit lonely. I'm a fool, as if she would be out here at this time. It's late. Good girls should be indoors at this hour, doing their homework. Not that she goes to school. I don't know if there are many schools in the area that accept cat spirits, or cat girls, or demons. I'll have to ask a priest. I cross the bridge with a heavy heart, trying to set my own Melancholical aside, how pathetic. A grown man like me shouldn't be swooning after such a young girl, especially not a young girl who might be a part cat. But I almost definitely 100% daydreamed. The wind stirs in the leaves in the trees overhead. The water beneath the bridge glows beneath the light of the moon. Belle might not be here, not at this abandoned shopping trolley is a ghostly glory. It looks mysterious in the dark, its metal skeleton shimmering in the moonlight. An exotic creature of the deep. Ah, the deep, from the boys. That's a lot of character development I can hear, just beyond the soft moan of the wind. Another sound, a dull creak, carried on the breeze. I think I know what it is. There's a small park on the opposite side of the river, with rusty old equipment, a climbing frame, a slide, a couple of seesaws, a few swings, a lot of dirty used syringes. I used to go there with Melly back when she was a little girl, and didn't feel embarrassed about being seen in public with me. I used to push Melly on the swings, and they would creak. They needed oiling, even back then, in the 70s, and a fresh coat of paint. She would laugh, delighted, her bobbed head fluttering in the breeze. It's different now, of course. She doesn't laugh like she used to. I don't think she could, even if she tried. I pause, overrun with nostalgia. I'm sure it's just a few local kids pissing about, wasting time while their parents worry, but I'm suddenly curious. It wouldn't hurt to take a quick look in the park. Sally wouldn't mind. I doubt I can make our relationship any worse than it already is. Especially since Sally wants to murder me. Oh my god, it's a demon! Oh, I was wondering if we'd run into each other again. Ah, it's you, the devil. That's right, it's me, the devil, in the flesh, for a limited period only. Roll up, those dupes. She creases her swing, the heel of her right foot pressed against the ground, the tips of her head to one side. Wait, what? The tips of her head? Yes, to one side. A playful grin flits across her lips. She looks happy to see me. Genuinely happy. Her green eyes. Oh my god, those eyes, framed by her dark hair, sparkle like demons in the night, in the flames of hell. Fire and brimstone, people. I'm not used to people being pleased by my presence. It catches me off guard. It's kind of fucking weird. She's very good at doing that. Being fucking weird. Now, what are you doing here at this time? I fold my arms, using my best teacher voice. Not that it has much of an effect. She only grins. Ha, a girl can't go for a swing in the park, can she? She shouldn't at 10 o'clock. It's dark. You don't know what kind of people could be out here. There could be, like, murderers. Oh, bye. Do you think there are all kinds of scary men who would leap at the chance to ravish a beautiful young thing like me? I didn't say it in so many words, but I suppose so. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying. Mad like you mean. I groan. I think I'd rather walked into that one. I'm not going to ravish you. I just wanted to buy some milk. And now there's a cat girl here. And in Rimworld, Jack Tony milks the cat girl. Oh no! 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 How disappointing. She pouts, her lower lip jutting out like a misbehaving child, or a kid. Her fluffy tail sways in the breeze. She's definitely 18 plus. The ears protruding from the top of her head twitch. The fact that she has ears and a tail to begin with is bizarre, but the overall effect is rather cute. It does raise one or two questions though. Is it safe to have those out in public? Like, what if somebody sees you with cat ears? What? With the ears. I gesture toward them and Belle gives them a small prod. as though she's never seen them before in her life. They twitch again. Oh, you mean these? The ears and tail? Yes, doesn't it go without saying? Like, not everybody has ears and tail. Tee-hee-hee. Well, it might be a little bit risky, but I'm a girl who loves gambling. I like to play blackjack if you want to win. Risk big and all that stuff. What are you hoping to win by wandering around at night with a pair of cat ears sticking out of your head? Some kind of Nobel cat prize? Oh, I don't know. Your love and affection, maybe. And how did you know I'd happen to stumble upon you here? Most middle-aged men don't wander around parks in the middle of the night. Well, not conventional middle-aged men. Not unless they want to end up on the front cover of Daily Telegraph with a widely exaggerated statistic about the prevention of, oh no, in the rural UK attached to their names. Call me a cynic, but I don't think that would work wonders for my career.